We have a few symbols in the Netherlands. Symbols is the most outer edge in the Onion model. Symbols are visible words, gestures, pictures, objects with a particular meaning for those who share a culture. One symbol which is appropriate in this time with the European Championships is the color orange. This is the national color of the Netherlands because of Willem van Oranje-Nassau. He became popular in the war against Spain and got the name Prince Orange. From then on we carried the color orange as the national color. Another symbol in the form of a gesture is the waving of previous Queen of the Netherlands, Queen Beatrix. Everyone in the Netherlands knows the way she waves and no other king or queen in another country does that. By that reason is the way of waving of the previous Queen of the Netherlands, Queen Beatrix, a typical Dutch gesture. A popular symbol in the form of a painting is the Nachtwacht. Rembrandt made it in 1642 and it is still the most popular painting of the Netherlands. It can be seen in the capital city of the Netherlands, Amsterdam, in het Rijksmuseum. In the Netherlands there are a few objects that are typical Dutch. Examples are frikandels, bicycles, tulips, cheeses, windmills, etc. People from other countries see these objects as typical Dutch.
In the Netherlands, people are still calm about heroes. It's more of a do-it-yourself, but normal, and you're already crazy enough. Many famous people also indicate that it's nice to live in Netherlands, because people often leave you alone. In the Netherlands, you are seen as a hero if you do something to improve the country or even the world. Despite the fact that the Netherlands is very sober about this, there are so many heroes in the Netherlands. The first one that came in my mind is Johan Cruyff. He put Dutch football on the map and everybody in the world knows him. And I don't think it will be different in the next 100 years. If you look at Dutch heroes on the internet, most of them are from the history. Think about Michiel de Ruiter, he's one of the most famous naval heroes that ever existed. The crazy thing is that someone in the Netherlands can be a hero, but in another country they hate this person. Think about Willem van Oranje. He's in the Netherlands a hero, but in Spain he was not. The heroes of last year are people in the care. In the corona crisis they have had to work harder than ever before. This too will be history forever. A hero can devour a person, but also an entire group.
In the Netherlands we have many rituals. Some are crazier than others and some have been here for ages. It's a tradition in the Netherlands to treat your maternity visit with rusk with mice. All the children also have often hand out biscuits with mice at school when their brother or sister is born. This is done to celebrate the birth of a healthy child. Another ritual is in the Netherlands people normally greet each other by shaking their right hand. This is a sign of mutual respect. Due to the coronavirus, shaking hands is not longer allowed and not longer desired. At the turn of the year, close friends and acquaintances are giving 3 kisses. These kisses are given to wish each other good luck for the year. On Vlaggetjesdag, the Dutchies enjoy herring bites. This is the day the fresh herring is brought ashore. And during New Year's Eve, the Dutch always eat oliebollen. The oliebollen is a fried yeast dog dish, which is served with powdered sugar. The third Tuesday of September is called Prinsjesdag in the Netherlands. The head of the state then delivers the speech from the throne in a united assembly of the States General. In it, the government indicates in general terms what the government policy will be for the coming year. Traditionally, the king goes in a procession by carriage to the Ridderzaal, where the people along the road are given the opportunity to applaud the head of state.
Let's talk about the Dutch values and beliefs. The Netherlands and its values are really important to us. They are invisible, but very well implemented into our everyday culture. The Dutch really value the strength of unifying the citizens instead of dividing them. For example, we really value the fact that everyone is free to have any religion they like. We don't care. Every culture is welcome in this country, and that's very special. The Dutch also really value the fact that everyone is equal and we all belong in this country. So the Dutch prefer certain states of affairs over others. For example, unifying instead of dividing, good over evil, earning a lot of money versus quality of life. The last one is the example of the high mass that we got in this country. High mass means that we value masculine values over feminine values. This includes status, work, earning versus the quality of life and taking care of home and family.
In the Netherlands, there are some common unwritten rules on how the people of the Netherlands handle the daily stuff in their lives. For instance, we give each other a hand when we meet them. When we are at the park and we walk and see somebody we know, we say hello. When we know somebody for a very long time and we know them well, we give them 3 kisses on the cheeks. In the Netherlands, it's also very common that we have role models we look up to. In the start of our young lives, we look up to our parents. And when the Dutch kids get older, they will hit puberty and they will have new people they are interested in and look up to. For instance, celebrities, influencers, their bosses, that one badass friend who is 2 years older, and they are now the people they look up to. All these things are learned through the years of their lives. It's just the way we live here in the Netherlands. We can be trained, learned through practice of just doing it.
The power distance dimension is about the fact that all persons in society are not equal. It shows how many different hierarchies there are and that it's normal for one to have more power than the other. Power distance means the extent to which the less powerful members of institutions and organizations in the country expect and accept the power is distributed unequally. The Netherlands score low on this dimension. It has a score of 838 out of 100. This means that the Dutch style stands for being independent, hierarchy only for convenience and equal rights, but also that the managers are easy to deal with and that the leaders have a stimulating and coaching character. Power is decentralized and managers rely on the experience of their team members. Employees expect a lot of consultation and a good cooperation. It is certainly not appreciated when there is too much control from above. It is also important that the attitude towards managers is informal and that they are addressed by their first name. Communication is direct and employees are challenged to think along.
The Netherlands is a country who has a mix between work as individuals and work as a group. As an individual, the Netherlands creates many things by its own, like food and technological innovations. The Netherlands also created the Delta Reken, which prevents us from overflowing from the sea. These are some examples that the Netherlands is a country who can stand on their own. On the other hand, the Netherlands is very dependent on the world trade. We are the center of Europe, and all the shipping from the world arrives in the Netherlands. Those products will be spread out over Europe from our country. So the Netherlands is dependent on the world who works together as a group. In the Netherlands on its own, we also work as a group. For example, the farmers are consuming food for export, there where other employees are responsible for the export of the product.
The Netherlands is a country that's somewhere between masculine and feminine. The Netherlands used to be more masculine country, but this is gradually changing into a feminine country. For example, in the past only men were allowed to study and have a job. Nowadays many women have finished an education and find a job. Their job is often part-time. This is mainly due to the way the Dutch women prefer to have some days off. The Dutch culture is changing from just working to earn money to work to money and pleasure. Nowadays people often quit their job if it isn't enjoyable. To show the Dutch behavior, we will compare some feminine and male characters to the Dutch culture. In the Dutch culture, the male qualities are rational, goal-oriented, solving problems quickly, and communicate directly. The feminine qualities are considerate, focused on sustainability and clients, long-term signification, process-oriented, showing vulnerability, and working together.
One of the dimensions created by Hofstede is the Uncertainty Avoidance Index. This index shows the amount of influence a country wants to have over the future. If a country has a low UAI, then the people in that country are more willing to take risks and are less afraid of what the future will bring.
If a country has a high UAI,
then there is a high urge to control the future as much as possible. The people living in that country try to do that by having a lot of structure in their lives, and there are a lot of rules which provide structure and certainty for the future. Cultures with a high UAI have an urge to be busy and work hard to control the future as much as possible. The Netherlands have a score of 53 out of 100 in this index, which means that there is a slight preference to control the future by following rules and maintaining daily routines and structure. This means that the Dutch have an inner urge to be busy and work hard.